Hey guys, so today's layout is going to start just a little bit different, mainly because I'm starting with this. This was at one point in time an actual layout that I had put together, and I think this was here. I can't remember even how it went, but anyhow, it was an entire layout that was put together somehow, and I didn't like the journaling that I had done, so I decided I was going to take that off. And when I did, I don't know, I just started taking it apart. And so now this is what I have. And I'm going to try to rework this. I'd like to save this little part if I could, and maybe some of, I think this all came off too, some of this background, I don't know. But my initial idea with this was to have the layout done like this and then do a companion page that was maybe a pocket page just with these. And I think I wanted to do like a 12 or I'm sorry, a 6 pocket here, because I also had some of these that I'd made, and I think I wanted to include them somehow like this. But as you can tell, I never finished these, number one. Number two is I just wasn't in love with this whole design, and I never loved this center column of journaling, and I don't know, I just started taking it apart. So this is kind of where I'm starting today, with this whole heap of mess, and I'm just gonna show you kind of what I'm gonna work with so you can see how I'm going to fix this. So I've already gone ahead and adhered 2 sheets of craft cardstock because I like the craft, and I just use washi just so I can keep them pretty much lined up. I have a sheet of this paper that is from the Random Collection by Crate Paper, and that's actually what I used in the original layout, so I'm thinking about using some of this. I also pulled this, My Mind's Eye, Follow Your Heart, Be Happy. I don't like this, but I think that this would be a good addition. I also have the 6x6, which I've never used, so that's good. I have just a strip of this Chipped Sapphire Distress Collection by Coordinations. I have this little piece of doily, which I have more of that. I don't know, have there. This is the Bloom and Grow stickers from Simple Stories. These are new. I think they've just been released, so I thought I might use some of those. Some of the colors match. There's a little more red instead of pink, but I think I can make it work. I also have this little piece of, or half sheet of paper from October Afternoon, which I was saving because I wanted to use some of these date stamps, so I may try to just use, or some of these library cards rather, so I may just try to use this top half and keep the bottom because I have an idea for a layout with that. I also have this 12x12 sticker sheet from the collection, which is brand new. I think I had like 2 or 3 of these, and this is the last one I have left, and I've apparently used 1 alpha, but that's it. So I have a lot of that left. So this is what I'm really going to try to use, and I'm just going to, again, try to configure it so I can fit all of the pictures on it and get a layout that I would actually like to have in my album. So I hope you will stick with me, and we'll see where this ends up. So the first step in creating this layout is to lay my photos out. I want to do this because I kind of want to have an idea of what design I'm going to go for, and I also want to make sure I get the photos in an arrangement that I'm happy with. This also helps me plan where I'm going to put my pattern paper, especially since I'm dealing with a limited amount of it. Once I do that, I kind of start making a plan for what pieces of pattern paper I'm going to put where. Start out with this 12x12 sheet, and I just cut a few strips to put across the bottom to go ahead and create some cohesiveness between the 2 pages. I'm also going to use a piece of that cream pattern paper from My Mind's Eye, as well as a couple of border strips across the middle to just kind of join it all together. Now when I put these border strips down, I don't put them flush to the edge. I kind of scoot them over so that way on either side, on the left or the right, I'm starting with a full scallop, if that makes sense. And I'll just trim them off the side, and since there'll be photos in the middle, you won't be able to tell. Thought about tucking this behind a little bit more, but I decided at the end that it was fine just barely tucked under. Now at this point, I'm going to go ahead and start matting my photographs, and when I did this, it created a problem, and that piece of paper from my mind's eye in the background and the photograph, once it was matted, they ended at exactly the same point on the left hand side, and I really did not like that look at all. It was just way too even for me. So I put that doily there to kind of create some more interest and another layer, and also distract the eye so you wouldn't be able to tell that they line perfectly up. I'm going to have the same problem on the right hand side, but I'm going ahead and matting the photographs, and I've also got to use another piece of paper because I have two photographs, and so it's an 8-inch span, and I'm just going to butt these two 6x6 pieces of paper up against one another. And since the pattern is a bit random and it's also continuous, you won't really be able to tell that they were two separate sheets of paper. And again, once I get those down on the right hand side, they end perfectly with one another. And so I thought I might add this photo there at the top, but I really didn't like the balance it created. And so what I did is I moved it back down the middle where I really wanted it to be. And I took that family flashcard little cluster that I had on the original layout, and I went ahead and just laid it up there. And I made sure to tuck the cream pattern paper just a little bit behind the pink one, so that way there was a break in that line and you wouldn't really be able to notice that they lined up perfectly. Now at this point, I realized that I've got this 4x6 card, and I really want to keep it because it has some really personal journaling in it, and I didn't want to get rid of it. I liked what I said and I wanted to keep that. So what I did is I went ahead and just extended it out to the left hand side to make that one complete 4x6, like 4x12 strip right there with the photo in that journaling spot. And I put that 4x4 at the top of it, and I felt that that was the best place for that considering the design. Looking at it now, I might have wanted to move that photograph on the very far right hand side down just a bit and make the pink kind of end with that photograph, but that would create the same problem again where the line and where it ended all together would be noticeable. So I'm quite happy that I left it the way that I did. At this point, I've gone ahead and collected the letters from the original layout and went ahead and reworked the title just a little bit. And I brought in a sticker from the 12x12 sticker sheet and a piece of that green paper that I've used my label punch with, and I punched a circle out of some denim paper that was on the original layout. This pinwheel was also from that original layout, and I just layered it on top of there with another one of the stickers. And I'm going to add some enamel dots, but first I wanted just a little bit of something to the right hand of the title, and I just took one of those labels and it had like the number 3 on it or something, and that was totally random for me. So I just went ahead and punched a small circle and layered it with another butterfly to create a visual triangle with the butterflies. So at this point, I'm just going to go ahead and get that done, and I'm going to come in with some enamel dots. But the problem with the enamel dots is that I decide that I don't like those buttons in the top right hand side. So at this point, I decide that I really need to get rid of them. And they were on there with glue dots, so it wasn't just as simple as pulling them up. I really had to work at it for a second, but I got them off. I had to do it really slowly, but I did get them off. But unfortunately, I tore that flashcard right there, and I just moved that butterfly up just a tad and added my enamel dots. And I used orange because there was orange in the collection. Even if it's not on this layout, it still is a complementary color, and I wanted to use something bright and something different. So that's it, and here are some close-ups. Thank you so much. I'm sorry this is so long, but I hope you enjoyed, and I'm really happy with my layout, and I hope you liked it. Thanks so much, and I'll talk to you again very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.